Beck, you turn from Father Jeremiah Jenkins, and who is still sort of administrating over Damsel, watching him sleep fitfully while Brother Douglas is sort of peering over the pew at Mr. Clemens, and he reaches down with like a rag that's been dipped in what appears to be some sort of alcohol. He starts just scrubbing at a small area of blood on the pew's upholstery, and you turn and you
Okay, I'm back.
leave the church.
Sorry, the Uber Eats guy showed up.
Delicious.
With your McDonald's?
Huh?
With your McDonald's?
Yes.
Your McDelivery?
Sorry, actually, it wasn't Uber Eats. It was DoorDash that I had to pay out the ass for because fucking Uber Eats delivers in my area, or McDonald's says Uber Eats delivers in my area, but Uber Eats is convinced it does not deliver in my area.
You mean Uber Eats?
I got a Big Mac, a McChicken, and a medium fry.
And
a drink that I forgot.
Beck, you leave the church, and everything is, for the most part, as far as you can tell, fine. Elwyn, what are you doing?
Well, if they're going with the church, I suppose that it's someone's job to entertain the people with our story.
The people gather around, a look of awe and excitement on their faces as you begin telling the tale. Roll a...
Alright, I'm back.
Roll a performance check for me.
What did Bulwark want to do?
Elwyn is telling
It's not you, it's me.
Of...
I am performing for the people about our great adventure.
Oh, beautiful.
45!
Wow. You,
I have the people follow me to the bar because that's where we deserve to have this tale be told.
They don't follow you to the bar, they lift you up on their shoulders and walk towards the bar. A train of people eagerly following behind this, the two burly men that have lifted you on their shoulders as you were making your way towards the bar. You can see Captain Clemens is following closely behind. You move into the tavern, and you can see the owner of the establishment, that elderly woman you met the first day you were here, a look of sort of surprise on her face as this huge group comes in, and she sort of looks out the window. Well, it's a bit earlier than people usually come in, but I'll take the business, as she sort of moves forward and begins pouring large, frothing tankards of ale and passing them out freely. Captain Clemens' daughter is there as well, sort of moving to and fro, her snow-white hair and sort of pink eyes darting across the room as she picks up empty tankards and runs them back and forth from the bar to the people. They set you down, standing in front of the hearth that has a low fire burning into it, and then silence falls. They wait eagerly your story, and you begin. They hang on to every word, and if you want, you can tell
Naturally, we're going to embellish them.
Yeah,
we're going to embellish it a little bit to make me look like the overall hero.
Meanwhile, Bulwark, you were looking for somewhere to places that wind down. There is obviously you were looking for a barracks. There is that. There is a barracks on the northern side, just within the Bramblecade. It's small, a little bit run down, but you know, it's not exactly a large city. You wouldn't expect some sort of grand barracks here. Beyond that, there is also the brothel, the Briar Patch, you could go to.
Barracks.
Barracks.
Bulwark don't need no brothel.
You head towards the barracks. You can see there are two members of the Queen's Guard sort of milling about. One appears to be a human of middle age, and the other a halfling. Each of them wearing the sort of standard issue clothing, a sort of leather,
I'll be right back.
Sort of leather armor with a tabard of the Queen's Guard, that sort of golden crown on a sea of beautiful hunter green. They're playing dice, looking a bit bored, as if they haven't heard the news of the return of your group. And as you approach, they look up. The man says, "Oh, can I help you with something?"
I didn't quite catch that.
Can I help you with something?
I need to blow off some steam. Anyone who needs to practice sparring, or two, maybe.
Oh, well, of course, the couple of us wouldn't mind sparring. In fact, I wouldn't mind a good scrap now, but you're not gonna find many members of the Queen's Guard. There's only 13 of us. But, well...
Just punches, no broken bones.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean...
Nothing that you can't sleep off.
Go find Kev Dark.
Alright, yeah. I'll be willing to scrap with you.
Is this the human talking to me?
It is indeed.
I look around. I don't know this town. If you want to pick the venue.
How about... Well, they got those nice tents set up. They've got a little arena out there. Why don't we meet there about an hour?
Sounds good.
Alright.
Sounds good. Be there in an hour.
Bring your coin, because I might be in a betting mood.
I don't have much, but I'll see what we can do.
He nods his head, and he sort of slaps his hands together, begins rubbing his hands. Hey, we got a bout later. Yeah, yeah. As he turns and he goes into the barracks. And you do have a scrap outside, set up for just outside the Bramblecade in an hour.
Cool. Can I make an intelligence check to get an idea of what kind of fighter he is?
Sure.
Or, I don't know if that'd be wisdom or intelligence. It's the same score either way.
Probably wisdom, but...
I'd go with like an observation or something.
I got a 7.
He's kind of... You look at him and you're not really that impressed with him. He's sort of lanky and thin. Whereas you're... And he's not very tall. Whereas you're like a rippling mass of muscle and height. And, you're like...
Oh no.
You're pretty sure that you're gonna just stomp on this guy.
Oh no. That's not what I was looking for at all, but okay. I'm gonna go with it.
He's not a very impressive specimen. But he was the only one around. Unfortunately, as you make your way through town, it seems like most of the Queen's Guard and most of the town has been drawn to the tavern. As there's actually a line outside of people sort of gathered around with sticking their ears and heads into the windows. As you hear a voice rising above telling a harrowing tale of daring adventure, of incredible rescue, of peril met with bravery, as Elwyn, with a incredible performance check, just is extolling the virtues of himself and to a lesser extent the group around him, as he has embellished the tale, and he has sort of inserted himself and a little bit more importantly into it. Beck, that is also what you come upon. Just this huge group that is deadly silent as they're listening to this story, each of them in sort of awe.
So is this story accurate?
Somewhat.
It's kind of
It
accurate.
follows the general happenings. It's just that, I'm a little more the center of attention. As it should be.
Great.
Beck very visibly rolls his eyes whenever you say something about yourself.
After...
Actually,
Yeah.
hold on. Does Bulwark walk into Beck?
Sure, you'd see both the two of you sort of coming together.
Yeah, I'm just kind of there.
Beck, how strong are you?
I have a 16 strength, so I look decently strong.
Okay.
He might want you for a sparring match.
Yo, Lucha
Bulwark.
Tag Team.
Bulwark walks up and goes, trying to blow off some steam. I picked a fight with a soldier. Worried I might kill him.
He just kind of looks at you for a second. Okay, is this past tense or future?
No, future in about an hour.
Alright, I mean, I can be there.
There's no anger or violence. I just trying to, blow off some steam. He took my challenge, but he's about as, thick as Hemlig is tall.
Giggity.
Alright. Well, I can be there just in case.
I'd appreciate it.
Alright. Where is it?
Colin, you said where we were meeting, and I completely forgot it.
It is just outside the Bramblecade in the area where the tents are set up in 1 hour.
Yeah, there.
Alright. Well, I'll be there. I'm just gonna finish listening to Elwin's questionable tale of his glorious exploits where we were
Well, as I see that they're coming nearby, I suppose I should give them a little bit of more credit. We'll start with the bit about
Bulwark
Bulwark being so strong he can punch the immaterial, going
what?
straight into the fire elemental.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did punch actual fire.
And tales of Beck protecting and healing the hostages.
All right. Well, they turn looking in awe at Bulwark and Beck, and there are several pats on the back, and none of this party is going to have to pay for any sort of drinks, obviously, as they're practically just trying to hand them to you, each of them coming at you with mugs of not just ale, but of some sort of finer liquors as well, just trying to say, have a drink on me. I'm not good at
Beck
accents.
probably drinks a little too much.
Alright.
I thought Beck didn't drink.
Does he not?
I don't remember you drinking.
That last one, Connor.
I don't
It's
know.
him right now.
It's up to Beck to determine whether he drinks or not, so...
I mean, yeah, it is your character. I for some reason remember that he doesn't drink.
I did not drink the wine.
That's
which
true.
was
That's right.
For a ritual.
That was
Connor's just
Sacramento wine.
flooding me with Pinterest pictures right now.
All of them. Furry. Pinterest picture furries. Alright.
I like the second to last one for Elwin, Lou.
Bulwark, an hour passes in no time. As Elwin wraps up his story, and there's a couple people that try to follow up, talking about the sort of contributions they made during the raid, but none is even a fraction of what Elwin says. And before you know it, an hour has passed, and
I am a
it's
natural performer.
time to head towards the tents.
Elwin, I need a hype man. Damsel's on a cot, so I need a hype man. That's you, buddy.
Well, I was actually thinking about going around taking bets. Obviously in your favor.
Yeah, do both. Or wait.
Or does that mean...
Wait. or you could take bets against me, and I could drop the fight to the weakling, and our odds will be like 7-1.
That doesn't seem very bulwarkish.
That's true. Never mind. Redact that prior
Like, yeah, I was
statement.
gonna say, do you really expect Bulwark to throw a fight?
But I don't want to kill the guy.
Pick him up.
It's
That's
obviously
true.
you don't have to, kill him or anything. It's all up to you.
But
if
all
you
right.
did kill him,
So we're at this event right now. Bulwark and the other guy are getting ready.
after the hour,
Did
you
it-
head out, pat through the gates of the Bramblecade, making your way towards the tent area. It's actually looking very nice as several more tents have been set up, and you can actually, Bregan is there. He's wearing his sort of garish, heavy purple robes that cover his skin, his porcelain mask covering his face, disguising his drow heritage. He's actually standing there. Do what?
Sorry, go ahead.
He's standing there
Go ahead.
talking with Captain Clemen. They seem to be in deep conversation as you're approaching, and Captain Clemen sees you and turns back to Bregan and says, "I'll tell the town that we're celebrating tomorrow." As he turns and
Oh
nods his
shit!
head.
Are we interrupting a celebration?
Bregan says,
Tomorrow.
No, it's just that after you saved these people, and it is the time of year for the harvest festival, and we thought perhaps, even though it's a little bit early for the harvest festival, we would put these two together, and we would celebrate the return of these people that you saved, and the harvest to come, since it is fall. And so Captain Clement has come to me, and we have set up tents, and there will be games and contests, and all that sort of thing, and there will be a boxing tournament, no doubt.
More festival, more parties, more booze.
He is quite right. There will be drinking.
Does any of the tavern goers from before follow us to the arena?
During this, I just turned to
Forehand.
Bulwark, and I just say, so we didn't defeat all of this cult. Is it really a good idea for people to be doing yet another party outside if they come to retaliate?
Now, come on, no reason to get their spirits down. Just let them be
I'm
happy
saying this
that they're.
just to Bulwark,
Oh,
not to the people.
okay.
Bulwark puts his hand to his chin for a moment and kind of tries to ponder what Beck is on about. He looks at him. He says, "I understand your point. I don't think they will."
I don't either. That's why I only told you. But we need to. I think we need to get these people more guards from somewhere, because this won't last. Like
As Beck says that, lightning strikes Bulwark's brain. What if we get some of these tavern goers? I'm sure some of them are able-bodied, and we could use the sparring match as a recruitment tool and see if we can bolster the militia.
that could work.
Bulwark
You'd have to
has
get
suddenly become 10 times smarter.
I have a 10 intelligence, Lou. That's average.
Are you just saying that to Beck, or are you like talking to Captain Clement as he's passing by, or?
If Captain Clemens nearby and he is able to even remotely overhear what Beck is saying, we could say that.
Yeah, I mean he was just talking to Bregan, so he probably walked by you. He's like 10 feet away. So you could sort of say, "Hey, I've got an idea." And probably
Perhaps Beck should be the one to have the idea.
If that's what you want, I can.
I'm
Captain
not-
Clemens.
I'm not so good at talking.
Beck, my good man, what can I do for you today?
So, Bulwark and I were just thinking. The actual cult is probably set back for now, but it's not defeated necessarily. I feel like it would be perhaps worthwhile to think of ways to bolster the guards here, and Bulwark happened to mention that maybe we could use like a sparring competition to find people who would be best suited for the role during the celebrations tomorrow.
You know what I think of that idea, Beck? I think that idea is just the bee's knees. I could see myself doing that, yes. I could see perhaps even joining in, maybe testing out my mettle against them, seeing just who could stand up against the likes of a Queen's Guard. I mean, we certainly can't admit them into the Queen's Guard. We have to do the oath and what things like that. They have to go through training. But however, we could have a local militia, something like a city watch. I think that would be quite a brilliant idea, Beck. He pats you on the back.
You think you can organize that kind of thing, Bulwark?
I know I can organize that. Have you talked to me? I think 1,000,000 miles a minute. I can do even more.
Oh, okay. That question was to Bulwark, but I'm sure you can too.
Nope. Sounds good.
Right.
Glad I thought of it.
He nods his head. I'll spread word around town.
As Captain Clemens is leaving, you know what? Disregard. Bulwark walks up, starts to say something, and just leaves.
Yeah, he's like, you got something to say, big man? And then when you stand there silently, he sort of said, thanks for the help, buddy. And turns around and walks away.
Yep.
All right.
The area
Oh,
of tent...
so is
Yep.
is Elwyn here?
Elwyn, I thought was gonna be hype man. Himlig has actually retired to the bar. He did suffer some injuries.
Two.
Oh wait.
Please,
hang on.
he's just looking over his treasures.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. How have we actually opened that chest?
Yes, it had a ring with the Archmage.
That's right, and we gave that to Hemlig, right?
Yep.
Even though it's so obviously for a bard.
But
Ring of the Archmage for the bard.
Himlig has retired to the tavern. He has been given, just like y'all were given the sort of celebrity treatment he has as well. I'm sure Elwyn said he was at least
Gave him a
there.
little bit of credit.
And he's got a free room and as many drinks as he can drink, and he's sort of retired.
I happen to.
I imagine if it's his sort of thing, he could probably get a very cheap girl from the Briar Patch and enjoy his night while playing with his Ring of the Archmage, putting it wherever he wants.
Woo!
But it's sort of up to him.
I made sure to put him in, you know. Didn't understate his craziness about going back in for the chest.
Yeah, Hemlig was there too. He helped.
Yeah, he was following me. He was making sure I didn't just die immediately.
The tent area, the sort of gathering area just outside, is busy. There are people that are setting up tents and booths. Whereas before, whenever you came here, there was just sort of like the bare bones amount of attractions that had been set out since you thought that you were going to have to leave pretty quickly. But now that an invitation to stay with some sort of permanency has been extended, they're really sort of throwing out everything they have as their game stalls being sort of hurriedly set up. You hear the sort of sound of hammer going, nails being driven into wood, signs being thrown up. You can see there is a halfling standing on the shoulders of another halfling, and he's got a paintbrush and paint can. He's painting big golden letters as he's basically illuminating letters for a sideshow attraction. The circus is going, or the troupe is going all out for this festival tomorrow, and sort of standing in the center of it, a little bit confused, is this member of the Queen's Guard that you challenged to a boxing match, essentially. He has the halfling there with him, standing up to his knees, and this guy has shed his leather armor, and he's shed his Queen's Guard tabard, and he's standing there bare chest and nothing but leather breeches, and he has his hands wrapped in white wrappings, and he sort of cracks his knuckles as he sees you approach. The halfling says, "You got him, Barry."
Oh boy. Shit. Huh, Bulwark has made a grave error. Mike, you're in eyesight, right?
Yeah, I was following you.
Mike or Bulwark looks at Harry and looks at Beck and just kind of shrugs.
Kind of look back, and I look at this guy's really kind of small in comparison. Said, "Well, this will be interesting."
Are there? I walk up to Barry, and I ask. I walk him as like not to besmirch your honor. I'm sure you are by far a worthy opponent, but we were speaking to the captain, who wanted to perhaps organize this into more of a tournament. So perhaps we should delay for a moment until there are some other participants.
He sort of eyes you up and down, and he says, "What are you trying to do? Get out of our fight? I mean, you seemed very eager before."
This guy's gonna thank you.
The name's Barry. Barry Obama.
Oh my god. I hate you, Colin. Remember on session 0 when this was supposed to be the serious game?
Nah, don't worry. His name's just Barry.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
As he says that, but he does say, "What are you trying to do? Back out? You scared?"
Bulwark looks at Elwood and at Beck and sighs. And goes, "Okay," and he removes his lace-up tunic, puts it down on the ground, takes his moccasins off, puts them on top, and then he doesn't put wraps on his hands.
All right.
How likely does it seem like that this other guy has a chance?
Roll an insight check.
Do that.
Lou, I'm still looking for pictures of Elwyn. The problem is, like...
This guy, it seems like Bulwark is just gonna crush this man. He's huge,
So
and this man is
can I
tiny.
cast a spell without him noticing? Can I try to do that? I would like to cast
Depends
Shield
on
of Faith on him.
spell. Where's my...
So
That
Shield-
last one I'm seeing, it's not too bad.
There's a...
Shield of Faith is a bonus action, 60-foot range.
does
so
it
I
have
can go
a-
way away.
Does it have a verbal component or somatic component?
Verbal. Yeah, it's got all 3 components.
Chances of being able to pass that without him noticing are very sort of slim. There's always a
Bluff it.
chance.
Bluff it.
There's always a chance.
I mean, what, does he need to actually hear it?
So what is your requirement? This is a 60-foot range. Could I, like, walk around?
Wait.
It doesn't require line of sight either.
I have an idea. Beck, stand
Yes.
behind me.
Okay.
I'm like 7.5 feet tall.
I
I'm-
passed behind him.
I'm like 8'1" or something like that. So if anything blocks line of sight, it's me.
And I just say, start boasting loudly.
Oh god. as the verbal component.
Yeah, just start boasting.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yes, you. So I don't. It doesn't say anything about line of sight. So what is your ruling on that?
If it doesn't have to be in sight, then it doesn't have to be in sight.
Okay, so as I'm walking behind him, and I wait for Bulwark to start boasting about his strength, and
Oh,
then I will
Jesus.
cast Shield of Faith on the other guy, which does create a slight shimmering glow around him, but it raises AC by 2.
Okay. Roll a deception check.
All right.
I will cover that deception check with boasting.
All right, you can
Do
roll
you want me
with
to just roll a
advantage.
performance?
Well, he can have advantage because you're helping.
Okay.
17.
All right. He doesn't seem to. Bulwark's boasting distracted him enough that he doesn't really notice you saying anything, and he doesn't really even notice the shimmer that goes across his body as he just rolls his eye at Bulwark's boasting. He says, "Yeah, well, I let my fists do the talking, friend."
All right, I clap and I say, well, then let's see this.
All
The
right.
talk's
Alright.
actually what I'm there for.
All right. Is Captain Clements
Clapton Clemens has returned to town.
in view?
No.
Oh, he's returned to town. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's do it.
Let's do it. He crouches into a battle stance, and the fight begins. Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
I like that change of music. Very nice. Oh no, I got a 3.
All right.
I have a 1 initiative. My initiative is 1.
You got a 16.
I'm assuming at this point we're arrested and whatnot, correct?
Yes, you've had a rest.
Okay.
With the 16, he is going first. I'm afraid I do not have any sort of map set up, so you're gonna have to use your imagination. But
Theater of the mind.
he is only about 10 feet away from you, and obviously with the 16, he is going first. As he charges forward, a howl on it, just like a ripple yell going whoop as he moves forward, and he is going to make an unarmed attack against you. Hold on.
Sorry, what was that? Whoop!
Yeah, he's going.
Him slipping on a banana.
That was his rebel yawp. Don't you guys know anything?
Rebel yaw.
Is he gonna go full Zoidberg soon? Whoop! Woo!
He charges at you going whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh my god, that would actually be terrifying.
That
He
is-
just suddenly starts scurrying at you sideways.
Doo-doo-doo. All right.
What he doesn't know is that Bulwark actually lacks peripheral vision.
Okay.
Curse you, I can't see more than 90 degrees to my right.
All right. He makes unarmed attack 1 against you. 18 versus armor class.
My armor class is 15.
All right. That first hit, as he charges forward and strikes you straight in the gut, you're surprised by how much damage it does. As you quickly realize this guy is not your run-of-the-mill grunt. He is surprisingly adept at unarmed strikes. As
Okay.
he deals 4 points of bludgeoning
Okay.
damage, and then he is going
Okay.
to spend a key point to do an unarmed flurry of blows.
Oh, he's a monk. Beautiful. Okay.
So he does 2 more attacks.
Alright, seeing this, I'm shouting out, get your bets in
23
now,
versus
get your
armor
bets in
class
now!
against you, and 20, so a 23 and a 20.
Yeah, both hit.
Alright. First attack does 8 points of damage, and the second attack does 6.
Oh man, you're gonna get wrecked.
So I'll take the, hang on. I need to read my stuff. I'm gonna do a cross counter. So that uses 2 moxie points. I get to roll 1d10 plus strength mod plus pugilist level. This is against the 8 attack. So I will take the 6. Oops, 26, yeah. and I will make my roll. Here's my d10. Okay, so 7 plus strength mod of +4 plus Pugilist level of 4. So I reduce the damage to 0. I get to make an unarmed strike
Okay.
for free. So I will do so. Huh. Oh, natural 1. Beautiful.
Does not hit. Not even
Does
close. You, as he moves forward first, the first hit striking you in the stomach, knocking the wind out of you a bit. He immediately follows up with both his fists coming forward, slamming straight into your pectoral muscles. But you are able to sort of flex up and sort of almost stopping one dead as you sweep your hand forward and try to sort of cross counter, bringing a left hook against him. However, he easily dodges underneath and you almost lose your balance. And then it goes to your turn.
1 second. 26. Alright. I'm gonna just do an unarmed strike. That is a 25. 25.
A 25 will hit.
And that's 6 damage.
6 big points of damage.
And the other attack's a natural 1.
Oof.
Holy shit.
You quickly fall into your familiar boxing form, casting a jab forward that catches him just in the chin, snapping his head back a little bit. But then, whenever you try to follow up like Sugar Ray Leonard, you leave a terrible hit like Sugar Ray. He is easily able to once again dodge that second attack, just slapping your hand to the side as he immediately follows up with attacks of his own.
Alright.
He's going to do first attack is going to be a 12 versus armor class.
That is a miss.
He is not going to spend his very limited key points on it. He's just going to do a standard secondary attack with 13 versus armor class.
That is also a miss.
That sort of...
Oh, you cut out there.
Oh no, I just sort of stopped talking. I was trying to find a way to describe it as his head sort of snapped backwards. He's still a little bit stunned from it as he sends 2 haymakers flying at you, and they just, you hold your arms up, they just sort of slam into your shoulders, doing absolutely no damage. Then it goes to you.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. A round of combat, I go and then he goes, is 6 seconds?
Yes.
Or is that 12 seconds?
It's 6 seconds, because technically it's happening at basically
We're happening
the
at
same
the same
time.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. As a... okay. I'm going to make 1 attack. That is a 16.
That does not hit him with the shoulder.
Thanks,
on.
Beck.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that miss, I'm going to use Dig Deep. As a bonus action, I gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for 1 minute.
That's
At
good.
the end of that minute, I gain a level of exhaustion.
All right. You swing
Dig deep!
and
Yeah, that's what it's called.
your fist catches him in the shoulder, and his fist sort of glows a faint color or his shoulder glows faintly white light, golden white light as it's deflected to the side. And then
Thanks, Beck.
Turns out his name is Danny Rand.
You dig deep, bracing yourself for his onslaught as he charges forward, and he is going to make 1 attack against you. 9 is not going to hit as he's not rolling great either. And then a 25.
That'll hit. Resistance is half damage?
It is half damage.
Okay.
So he is going to...
Somebody do me a favor, keep track of what round we're on.
Don't. This will be over before the minute is up. Don't worry.
Okay.
You take 3 damage. So half, it would be 2 because it's 1.5 rounded up.
Alright.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yeah, done.
That one.
That is a 17.
All
Because
right.
I have +6 to Constitution saving throws.
You do manage to resist his stunning strike.
Oh, tell me, how do you guys rate this bait?
8 out of 8.
What? What bait?
Great bait, mate. 8 out of 8.
Yeah.
Speaking of bait, he seems to sort of dangle him as he misses you pretty wildly. You almost see an opening before he immediately follows up and BAM! Hits you right in the gut once again with a strike. And you can actually feel it almost vibrating, but you resist the vibration. Taking a little bit of damage, you can see that there's a small bruise opening where he hits, but didn't really do that much damage, and it goes to your turn.
Alright, I am going to... just gonna do two hits. First hit is a miss, that's a 13. Second hit is a natural 20.
Alright.
So I can't remember, is it max damage? Max
we
possible?
do max damage, yeah.
Okay, so
for
that
some
would...
reason I still hold on to 4th edition max damage plus bonuses for magical weapons.
Okay. So that'll be 10 damage across.
Alright.
And can I... hold on.
Can you...
Hang on, I'm trying to see if... Okay, no, I should have already declared that, so never mind.
Alright. Your first attack flies wide as he dodges to the side, and he gets a little bit confident, leaning in, almost ready to counter, but you catch him right in the chin with an uppercut, and you see just in time, he realizes what's happening, and he looks down as your fist just comes up straight into the middle of his face, crushing his nose, and you can see blood fly, and he just sort of is thrown backwards, almost in slow motion, as he tumbles, BAM! Landing with a loud thud on his back. Blood sort of pouring from his nose. He sort of slowly rises to his feet, a look of determination in his eyes. And as that's happening, his halfling compatriot runs forward, stepping between the two of you. Hold on a second now, hold on.
Yeah, I would definitely, like, if people are bleeding, I would be running in as well.
This is a fight too good to be seen by what? A couple of fucking carny workers and your friends? No. This is the type of fight we could make quite a buck off of. You know, he did make a good point, Barry.
Bulwark stops.
If we were to do this
Colin,
night,
I do have a rule question.
Yeah.
I have Street Smart, level 2 Pugilist ability. Carousing, shadowboxing, and sparring count as light activity for the purposes of resting for you.
Okay.
So
Was this a rest for you?
does this count as resting?
This was not.
And
This was not shadowboxing.
well, it says
Carousing.
and sparring. It says carousing, shadowboxing, and sparring.
All right, we'll go with sparring since he wasn't going super hard on you.
Well, my question is effectively, do I get my short rest or my short rest abilities back after it?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna. I imagine you're gonna. The thing is tomorrow, so I imagine you're gonna.
Sure.
Go long.
We're probably gonna have a rest anyway.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But Barry laying on the ground, his halfling ally standing between you, saying, "Whoa, wait! This could be a big event, you know. There's a boxing match tomorrow. It's a huge festival. You know, imagine how it is next to the great bonfire underneath the light of the full moon, huh? Could be incredible. I think we should
Bulwark
save
nods.
it." Barry sort of glowers at the halfling, but nods his head. He sort of wipes the blood off his nose and stands to his feet. He does reach out his hand, offering to shake yours.
Yeah, Bulwark offers. Is he still on the ground?
He is still on the ground.
He'll do like the Spartacus Roman handshake, where he grabs the forearm rather than the hand and hoists him up to his feet, and then shakes his hand.
All right. Your two firm grips sort of intertwine, and he shakes your hand quite vigorously, and releases. He sort of wipes the blood away from his nose. You fight good. I'm looking forward to this.
I nod and say you as well. I think that if half of the contenders in whatever it is we're doing tomorrow are as entertaining as that, perhaps Captain Clements will not have so much of a recruitment problem. With that, my kid has come home, so give me 2 seconds.
Hopefully.
Yeah, what's up?
Barry turns and, with his halfling ally, he begins walking back to the Bramblecade. You hear a quiet clap behind you as Bregan was watching it, saying, "That was pretty good." Would y'all like to do anything?
I think I'm quite good for that rousing match.
Yeah, I would just need to talk
Elwyn
with...
is rather impressed by the monk's style.
Yeah, he did a lot more than I expected.
He always enjoys more precision and finesse over brute strength.
Yes, his style was a lot more elegant than Bulwark's, but there's something to be
Indeed.
said for the incredible brute force that Bulwark is able to command at his will. The circus performers around you continue their work, beginning to stack wood up for a huge bonfire in the middle of the central sort of clearing.
Ooh, bonfire.
Is
That's
it
going to take place tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole thing is tomorrow.
Yep.
So I need to, I kind of pull Elwyn and Bulwark aside. I say, so I was talking to Father... What was his name?
Father Jenkins.
Jeremiah Jenkins.
Jeremiah
JJ.
Jenkins.
Father JJ.
I was talking to Father Jenkins, and he mentioned two paths we could take from that we could consider at least. As a part of my order, I have to complete some monumental task to be able to take my oath effectively. And he mentioned we could either follow him down to I forget the name of the city.
Mwabala.
Ubabala. Okay.
I love cities that I don't know how to pronounce.
It's spelled Mwabala.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Laurel Palasa?
Mbala.
Mbala.
Mwabala?
But I'm not sure what we'd be doing there, but I do know there's another rhyme up to the north has been having people disappear. We could potentially go up there and help. We could go to Mwabala to the south and see what Jenkins is being sent there to. If we, if we care to think of what we're doing.
Can't let the old drunk go by himself, can we? He won't make it there.
I don't know. Jeremiah Jenkins seems like he can handle himself quite well.
Yeah,
definitely
there's
a lot
liquor
drunk.
My
involved.
sword goes wherever it is needed, so
I
I'll
will
follow
let y'all
you where
discuss that.
to go.
I'm going to go get another beer.
Get one for Elwyn too.
So I don't know how large Rhyme is compared to Mwabala.
Well, Rhyme's actually on the map. Rhyme
Yes.
looks to be smaller than Lorinal, where we came from. So
We are not in Lorinal, though.
no, but we were near there.
Those are using the same thing, so I assume they're about the same size.
Yeah. Mwabala, didn't he say is like huge?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little smaller than Pendragon.
It's probably
So it's
more
probably
for us to do.
Ichthyllian size, judging by the.
I can't see Mwabala. I see the name, but
Yeah, no, it's off the side.
okay. I mean, yeah, we. Beck, you know the world better than we do.
Well,
We're
there's
just
always
country
tensions along
bumpkin.
the border.
Do what?
I said there's always tensions along the border, so I'm sure there's something that we could do.
Let's go help the old drunk.
All right. I'm fine with going there. We should probably send word that they'll need to send someone else to Ryan.
What was going on in Rhyme? People or children?
I believe. Well, all Father Jenkins said was people are disappearing. I don't know detail.
Not sure. Who should go there? But perhaps we
Go ahead and roll a
can
history
help.
check for me.
Oh, who?
History?
Anyone who's talking about Rhyme and Mwabala.
18. Sorry.
History is intelligence, right?
Yes.
3.
That's not good.
18.
Mwabala is a significantly larger city than Rhyme. Not only is its living population, just the people that live there larger, there is a lot of trade that goes through there. The sort of center of trade between Adawala and Gwenthyr, caravans are constantly going through there, so its population is...
Oh, it's a crossroads hub.
It is a crossroads hub. Rhyme is smaller, significantly smaller. It is getting to the time of year where a lot of people are heading there because there is a winter celebration there that it is known for. However, it is quite a bit smaller than Mwabala.
Celebration. That means more beer.
And because it's
Did-
winter, it is far colder
Did
there.
Father Jenkins mention anything about what was happening in Mobala?
He said that there was some sort of outbreak of disease.
Okay. So we'd be walking into...
So disappearance or disease?
Well, my skills are not much help in either of those scenarios specifically, but I can always make it so that anything I can help with will not bother your attempts to help there. If that makes sense.
Would I know that I'm immune to disease?
Do what?
Yeah, I have divine health.
You
I mean,
would probably know that
Bulwark
you have some...
immediately sneezes on Beck, just like full on. Sorry.
You'd probably have some sort of idea that you are immune to disease. Or at least at the very least, you don't remember getting sick. You're like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. You should have known way back when, because of the kids. They called you Mr. Glass.
I still haven't seen that.
Wait, what?
I still haven't seen Unbreakable.
Holy crap, do you have Hulu?
I don't, no.
Oh my god, it's the best superhero movie to come out in like 20 years.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay.
Oh, it's just great. I love it. I like it because
I've been meaning to watch it. I hear it's Shyamalan's like redemption card.
It is the best movie he's ever made. And the thing is, it takes the idea of like, let's take a grounded view of superheroes, and then it says, okay, no, let's not take a grounded view of superheroes. Let's just see where the ground is and put them there.
Have you seen after this comment, let's get back on track, but
Yeah.
have you seen The Chronicle?
No. Wait, have I?
I
Maybe.
highly recommend that movie. Has a younger Michael B. Jordan in it.
Mhm.
Killmonger from Black Panther.
Yep. Creed, yep.
Briefly, he's
I will-
only in.
I will watch
Look up
it.
the Chronicle. It's very good.
Back on
It's
track.
The Chronicle is effectively a superhero movie told from the perspective of the Blair Witch Project.
I like it. We'll get back on track though. It is up to y'all. Both are equally viable avenues, or if you have a third option, obviously I'm not going to tell you that's too bad. If you want to go find somewhere else,
Let's go to
that's fine.
Karakunyulu. No, fuck you.
You absolutely could. There are things to be found in all of these cities, whether it be Pendragon, the capital. Karakun Yulu, the capital of Adawala, has the oldest magic institute, several thousand years old. But it's up to y'all.
But the mage isn't here, so
Yeah, I'm trying to see if Cody can wake up so we can at least get his opinion. Let's carry on through the ceremony, and I'll see if I can get Cody.
Gareth, you're not super hurt. You're a little banged up. You've got a couple bruises. You're not doing too bad. You do suffer a point of exhaustion, so you're a little tired. But hey, you sort of are able to shake it off. You sort of wring your shoulders a little bit, open up them muscles, and head back into town as the Bregan pretty quickly comes and it's like, shoo, we need this space to set up more bonfire.
As we're leaving, I look at Mr. Barry, and I ask him, "Do you drink?"
I've been known to partake of a drink or two in my day, or even 3.
Oh, I have enough coin for a drink, and I would like to buy you one.
He sort of looks at you and he nods his head. I think I'd like that.
I will take him to the tavern, and I will order myself a hot water, and I will pay for a beer or whatever it is Mr. Barry would like.
As soon as you order a beer and you offer to pay for it, the woman at the tavern just looks at you like you're crazy and just hands you the beer. Says, you drink for free here after what you did for this town.
I tell her thank you, and then I put my coin on the bar.
All right. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Am I proficient in perception? I am. 17.
The woman pointedly ignores the coin, as do all of the patrons, sort of getting the sense that your money is no good here. However, after about a minute, you see a tiny snow-white hand almost reach out of nowhere from behind the bar, and it slowly takes it and pulls to the edge, and it disappears.
I pay no attention to that.
All right.
Colin, do you want me to still have my exhaustion, or is that going away?
That'll go away. You might as well not even bother, unless something happens. It's not going to come into.
Okay,
effect.
I'll record
it'll happen after it'll be gone after a long rest. But you are sort of settling into a long rest, so you technically have it, but you might not want to even bother putting it down.
Okay, noted.
The night or the day passes. It's now nighttime. This beautiful blackish blue sky is studded with points of light. By this point, Barry has had several drinks, and he's sort of opening up a little bit to the group. He sort of laughs. He's slurring his speech a little bit, as he's not had 1, 2, or 3 drinks. He's on drink number 5 at this point. You know,
Just for the record, Colin, I have literally like no money. So other than like that coin that I just gave up. So unless they're letting him drink for free,
they're not. If every time you go up and order any sort of drink or anything like that, it's free. But he's not.
We're
really,
heroes.
He's not.
I know, but that doesn't make it right.
He's paid for the majority of his own drink. It seems he does have coin, so.
Got it.
You suspect there's little else to spend coin on out here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he says, you know, I never wanted to be a member of the Queen's Guard. I just kind of fell into the position. You know how that is.
Bulwark nods, but kind of says quietly, perhaps it would be unwise to misspeak against your own station. Bulwark is sober, by the way. So
Now, don't get me wrong. I really like being a member of the Queen's Guard. Go cool places, I meet interesting people, and I get to help people, and I, really enjoy that. But I was raised in a monastery in Hadawala, and I didn't expect I'd ever end up here, but time makes fools of us all, and the Lady of Fate sometimes has interesting things to say. And she said, hey, you are gonna end up homeless in Pendragon, and you're gonna need a job, and the Queen's Guard's gonna be there for you. And that's how I ended up here. What about you, friend? Alright, I'm fishing for backstory, my boyo.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Bulwark holds up his hands, and they're visibly burned with old and new burns. And he says, oh, hang on, somebody's at my door.
The guy
Hold that thought.
He looks at the burns on your head and he says, friction burns. I guess you're really lonely. What are Elwyn and Beck doing?
So Beck, after that fight, probably wouldn't have gone to the bar with him.
One's always up for a drink.
How late is it at this point?
It is, as you are, at this point, probably 8 or 9.
Hello?
It's 8 or 9.
Okay, I just missed like 2 or 3 sentences from you.
Yeah, it's 8 or 9.
It's 8 or 9? Okay.
Yep.
To be honest, he might have swung by remembering the mummy and just asked if that was still a thing.
Alright. You swing back to the house of Varda Blackpool, the woman who you sort of talked to before. And as you sort of knock on her door, there's a moment where you're just sort of standing out there in the darkness before finally it opens a crack and you see light pouring in as the older woman sticks her sort of wrinkled and graying face through, eyeing you. Wait a second. I think I've seen you before.
You have. You told us before we left, after the raid, that there was some kind of like mummy or something in your basement.
Oh, yes, I remember you. You're the ones that, well, I said I'd pay bonus if you got it done in a timely fashion, but it's been almost a week. They're still there, scratching at the floorboards.
The Queen's Guard sent us out to chase the cult that was raiding.
Fat lot of good those guys are. They just told me to lock the cellar door. My wine is down there.
All right, so it's still a problem. I'll see if I can get people together.
Well, I'd appreciate that. I've got some very important things stored down in my cellar, and I can't get to them because these ridiculous elves insist on creating their tombs underground, and they break into the cellars. It's awful.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Well, I would appreciate that, but I'm not giving you a bonus.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
So sorry, I'm gonna go walk, and I'm just gonna walk around until I find Elwyn and.
All right, backstory time. Oh god, there's so much pressure.
Under pressure,
I Bulwark holds up his hands, and he's got fresh burns from the chest, and then old burns from back in the day. And he says, "I haven't been home in a very long time. Probably couldn't even find it on a map anymore. I met up with a circus, did feats of strength, picking people up, tossing gymnasts, that kind of thing. And eventually, our cook got sick and passed away. And I ate a lot and was in his presence more than anyone. So I inherited his duties. And one night I got careless and burned down the entire circus tent. So now I wander around and try to keep myself out of trouble."
As the final words leave your lips, you sort of glance over at Barry and see that he is sort of slumped over the table. Gentle snores coming from his nose.
Beautiful.
As it seems that the drink has overtaken him and he has passed out into a mild stupor as your words seem to have fallen on deaf ears.
Bulwark pouring out his heart over here, and the guy just goes to...
I had a feeling that was going to happen. I would pick him up, if I can, and carry him to his barracks.
Roll an athletics check for me.
Oh, I am exhausted, aren't I?
Yes.
Aha.
So it is gonna come in.
So what is so it's I have it written down.
Yeah.
Disadvantage on ability checks, okay. So that is a 10. My athletics is a 6, so I have +6.
16. You're able to sort of...
So 16.
Like, at first you are able to lift him pretty easily, but then you get about halfway to the barrack, you get a little bit tired, so you end up having to, like, transfer him to, like, a straight-up fireman carrying him over your shoulder to the barrack. At that point, it's a little bit easier. You get to the barracks and you're breathing a bit heavy. The exhaustion has affected you, but you are able to get there as you sort of are able to reach forward and open the door. You can see several of the Queen's Guard are there. They stand up. Barry drank himself into a stupor again, didn't he?
I wave him down. He says he's fine. He earned it.
Yeah. Not much else to do here as they move towards you and they relieve you of your burden, taking Barry and leading him to a cot. They sort of begin pulling off his boots and they cover him with a pretty rough woolen blanket, setting his boots by the bed. Don't worry, we'll take care of him from here. It's not exactly.
Mike, were you specifically looking for me while I got up?
Yeah, I was just looking for either you or Elwin, just kind of walking around.
Okay. If it was not particularly vital.
No.
Okay. I would kind of rub my shoulders a bit and ask the soldiers if they have a spare cot.
The person who seems to be speaking up is once again a middle-aged human. This one quite a bit grizzled and he has a scar over his eye. He says, "Oh, of course we've got a cot for the heroes. You can sleep anywhere you want, friend."
Thank you.
Alright, they clear off a cot for you. You don't exactly, even though you are so a quote-unquote hero in the town, you don't exactly get incredible treatment here. They are a little bit limited in their supplies as you receive a
ton of beer.
sort of lumpy pillow and a sort of scratchy woolen blanket. But it is a cot, and it is a blanket, and it is somewhere to sleep, and it is a roof over your head. What is Elwin doing? And is he in a place where Beck can run into him?
Elwin, that was you.
I'm sorry?
What is Elwin doing?
What are you doing, and are you in a
Are
place where Beck can run into you?
Well, I kind of figured I'd just be with the people partying and celebrating, and
All right. The town is in an uproar and great celebration still at the tavern.
wherever
at this
there's a
point,
party, there's Elwin trying to make it about him.
At this point, the party has several members of the party have migrated over, over to the Briar Patch, the local brothel, as they sort of, have gone to partake of the wares. So it's a little bit emptier in the tavern. The party's dying down. People have heard your story at this point like a dozen times. They have had way too much to drink. The elderly tavern owner is now wiping down the tables, and she's beginning to quench some of the candles, even though the fire is still burning pretty high. There's a couple people passed out on the wooden tables, several chairs that have been overturned, and mugs that have been spilled on the table. You can see every now and then Captain Clement's daughter, Abigail, her sort of pale white form darting behind the bar and wiping up some of the spills and picking up the tankards and sort of placing them back on the counter to be washed. Party's dying down.
Hey, how do we keep this going?
I mean, you don't have to. Obviously, you can take a nice stroll, or you can head over to the Briar Patch and get yourself a nice woman. You can roll on the table of specialty women.
I think I'll go for the stroll.
Okay. You step out into the cool night air. It's
Not enough admirers.
It's a crisp fall night. At this point, it's probably about 10 or 11 o'clock. Things are winding down in the small town. People are, you can see there are fires lit all around the Bramblecade, and a few members of the Queen's Guard are patrolling the streets. But other than that, it's fairly dead. And as you were sort of standing there, enjoying the cold, crisp fall air on your face, you see Beck coming from down a nearby alleyway.
Wiping the blood from his hands.
They can't prove anything.
Redemption paladin by day, serial murderer by night.
Why do you think he needs redemption?
Oh, Beck, how amazing is this?
I haven't really been doing much since watching Bulwark's
Come on,
fight.
drink by the tankard, adoration of all. A fella could get used to this kind of life.
Well, we could probably finish doing what we wanted. We never did deal with the
What was that again?
There was a mummy.
What about my mummy?
Oh shit, I forgot about the mummy.
Before we left, we agreed to go clear a mummy, and we didn't.
My mummy doesn't need clearing. I haven't even seen her in years.
Wrong mummy. This is the undead kind.
Yeah, so is his. Heyo!
So do we want to just try to do that tonight?
I don't think. I think you've had enough beer. You're not making any sense.
I think I've had enough beer. Well, I haven't had enough beer, probably, but we could still deal with it.
Deal with what?
I just kind of pat him on the back and I say, maybe tomorrow.
You sure you don't want to take your drunk friend, mummy?
Let's go. Let's go kill the mummy. No, but I mean, if it's pretty late, I'm probably gonna go. Beck's probably just gonna go.
He said it's about 10 or 11,
Okay.
so it's starting to get late.
I mean, to be fair, we did travel today as well. So.
That was quick time travel. No big deal.
Well, yeah. But so Beck's gonna go find a room.
Finding a room is easy for Beck. As I said, you don't have to pay for anything. You are given a room on the second story of the tavern. It's a small room.
I think Elwyn's just gonna crash in a hay bale somewhere.
That'll work too. There is a livery and stable in the Bramblecade. As Beck, you go to the room. Like I said, it's the woman, the old woman, the tavern keeper. Sort of nods her head and motions you up the stairs as you are led to one of the empty rooms. Most of them are full, but there is one set aside for you. It's small, but it's clean. The bed is comfortable. It's warm and it's a roof over your head. So it's like I said, it's sparsely furnished, but it is what it is. Very acceptable.
Success.
Elwyn, you sort of stumble towards a livery and stable. The livery is closed down, but the stable, you can see there is a light sort of shining from it. What appears to be a lantern that is swinging from stall to stall.
Oh, that looks nice.
Huh, this isn't where I put my bed.
Are you just going into the stable, or?
If it looks nice and comfy, let's go.
You step into the stable and are assaulted by the smell of fresh straw, horse manure, and grain, and you can see there is a man there. He has a bullseye lantern on a pole that he's sort of raising up as he is moving from horse to horse. Every now and then you hear a distress sort of as a horse is going through some sort of pain. The man sort of has a worried look on his face as he stands at a particular stall, and he doesn't notice you come in.
Noisy neighbors. Don't they know people are trying to sleep? I'm just gonna, kind of drop into one of the pile of hay.
There is a...
So there was fresh straw?
There is fresh straw. And it is piled up, and it could make a very comfortable bed. As you sort of stagger towards it, and plop
right
down,
into it.
Right into it. You are left undisturbed as you pass out into unconsciousness. And so the night passes. Beck and Bull work in their rooms. You in a beautiful, comfortable pile of freshly hewn and delivered hay.
Hey, this is looking like a Ritz-Carlton to him right now.
Dawn rises, Elwyn. And,
dawn of a new day.
You wake up a bit late in the day, having had a drink or two, and you sort of peel out of the hay, and the man is still there, the lantern gone. However, the door to that stall sits open. He does have a look of sort of sadness on his face as he is standing at the edge of the stall.
Did I just kill a horse?
You hear a sort of faint whinny, quiet, as you sort of look around behind him, and you can see there is a beautiful new chestnut foal in the stall. However, the mother lays dead, apparently having passed during childbirth or foaling. Foaling.
Well, now you make me feel that.
Foaling.
I think both are accurate.
Yes, I think so as well. Unfortunately, it seems the delivery was the delivery was too much to handle. It was complicated, and there was no one there to roll animal handling checks.
Dang.
I mean, what is my... I doubt I even have it. Yeah, I got a +1 anyway.
It is a bittersweet moment. There is a beautiful foal, but unfortunately, the mama horse died.
I would have got a 10. Oh well.
Little you could have done. You turn and you leave
Drunk.
the stable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, drunk too. Probably would have been with disadvantage.
Beck and Bulwark, you were awoken to the sound of music in the square. Music just outside the tavern as the circus performers have begun making a rousing song. Their instruments, their lutes and lyres, their drums, just playing, sending out a wonderful, almost sort of familiar song, singing about the fall harvest and the chill nights, and hoping for a good winter, a safe winter to come. As the festivities kick off, people beginning to sort of pour into the town square, heading outside for a day of games and good times at the stalls that the circus have set up. The tavern has largely been emptied. There are a couple people there grabbing a breakfast, but for the most part, everyone is heading outside towards the festivities.
All right.
Do you want to break
I hear
into
the
people's
sound.
houses and steal everything?
Go in, smash their pot, get
I
the gem.
do. My other character does do that. All right, so I'm just gonna get a little bit of breakfast, then head out to the party.
The old crone prepares you a fine, savory porridge. This sort of thick, gray, almost mush, mixed with little bits and pieces of pork fat. It's not the most appetizing, but it is filling, and it sort of girds you and prepares you for the day. Take a drink. All right.
I thank her for it, and I head out.
You head out towards...
Elwyn, with his slight hangover, will start heading it that way.
All right. You head out. Is Bulwark also heading out that way?
Yes.
More party, more booze.
Almost the entire town has emptied out into the area just outside the Bramblecade, where games and shows have been set up. These are all much of the it's old hat to you, Bulwark and Elwyn. You've seen these games before. You worked for a circus. You know that the sort of tricks that they pull and the things they do to pull people in is there are sort of people that are just belching out fire, and there are people contorting themselves into strange and incredible shapes. But it's a sort of nostalgic and wonderful feeling, a comforting feeling seeing it, and an exciting feeling. It's a festival. It's a celebration. And you see that there are, let's see, Hotfoot, a game of sort of martial skill where you stand. It's almost like American Gladiators, where you stand on a 6-inch wide or beam across from another person above a pit, and it is lit on fire, and you have to try to push each other off. There is
Into the fire?
Do what?
Into the fire?
No, the beam is set on fire. That's why it's called Hotfoot.
Okay.
I remember Hotfoot.
There is more simple games like knife throwing. There is a moving through.
Even drunk off my ass, I can still hit a target at 20 feet with a knife.
There is a game called The Dragon's Horde, which is a wheel-spinning game, a game of chance. There is a game called Dragon's Bones, which is a lot like Jenga, as there are bleached white, there is a tower of bleached white bones where you have to try to pull a piece out and set it on top without knocking them over. Quite difficult to do, as You know that the towers are usually set up in a very unstable way. There is...
Does my level of exhaustion have any effect on my rest?
No, and that should be gone now because you slept.
Okay. Alright, I had to move laundry around. I'll be right back.
Alright. And then there are more simple games like there's 3-card Monty, things like that.
Beck will definitely challenge Elwin to knife throwing. 100%.
Alright.
Alright, let's go.
You have another?
So,
Voila.
you step up to a line. There is a target dummy. This target dummy has been crudely painted to resemble an orc, green skin splashed across its wooden visage, and rough leather armor borrowed from the Queensguard and sort of taked on him. It looks like it is already damaged and in need of repair. The dummy is about 30 feet away from the line that has been drawn in the dirt, and as you approach, a woman in sort of very surprisingly dull garb, but she does have a large hat with a pink feather that sticks out of it, sees you and says, so, you're looking to play a game of knife throwing? Well, it's 1 silver to enter, and, well, basically, I'm trying to remember the rules exactly. I know the rules of the knife throwing. I'm trying to remember the rules of the betting. Oh, I remember now. And your opponent puts in 1 silver as well, and winner takes all. Of course, if you wish to
No problem.
increase that, it's up to you.
Alright, so I put in,
Knives, bows, hatches, blindfolded or backwards, I'll still hit the bullseye.
Oh, this one is confident, isn't he?
Beck is going to try to use strength to throw these.
I think you do use strength.
No,
Don't you?
use dex for ranged.
Nah, throwing weapons are weird.
Depends on the throwing weapon. They are daggers, so I believe they're throwing daggers. I believe they are finesse.
Yeah, daggers
so
are
that
finesse
would be
weapons.
Either.
I think you can use either with finesse.
Yeah, finesse
Yeah,
would
you
be
can.
either or. As I go through my book, 2 daggers, finesse, light thrown.
Yep.
And the target.
So yes, you can use strength.
The target is 20 feet away instead of 30 feet away because I would rather it not be in disadvantage range. So yes, it's 20 feet away. Painted to look like an orc. So yes, you put your money in, you step up to the line, you throw 3 daggers apiece, and whoever has the most points wins. As she points to the torso and says, let me see. A hit is worth, or hitting the target at all is worth 2 points. Hitting in the torso is worth 5 points, but hitting the bullseye in the middle of the chest is worth 10.
Right? Well, paladins first.
Alright. In that case, I will go ahead and just throw it as hard as I can. No finesse at all. 8.
An 8?
Wait, am I proficient?
Are you
You're
proficient with
you're
daggers?
a paladin.
You should be.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure you
I
should.
should be,
yeah.
so 10.
10. It
What did you
strikes-
roll?
A 5.
That's not
Okay,
too
yeah.
great. As it flips through the air, it just clips its shoulder, landing, or it actually clips the neck, sort of landing, just off the torso. But it does hit the dummy as she moves to a board and she puts up 2 points. A little bit off the torso, but it was close. At least you hit the dummy. Then it goes to Elwyn. Yeah, I would say it's 1 dagger, 1 dagger, 2 dagger, 2 dagger, 3 dagger, 3 dagger. So it's alternating.
All right, I got a 21.
A 21. This one hits strong the torso, a little bit off of the bullseye, bearing itself, not even sort of quivering. It hits beautifully in the torso. She says, "Ah, an impressive throw. That's a throw worth 5 points."
Throw worth what?
5 points.
Sorry, how much?
5. It's worth 5 points.
Okay, 5. All right.
Yep.
Sorry, you were cutting out.
Screaming. 5!
Five!
It's worth
1,
5!
2, 3,
All
4. All right, it goes to Beck.
All right, so I will go ahead and throw as hard as I can.
Can't believe that he actually has the same as me for hit.
17.
So Beck has 2, Elwyn has 5. With a 17, it strikes the dummy in the head, unfortunately missing the area on its torso. 17 is only worth 2 points. So you get another
Alright.
2 points.
All right.
Gotta get it.
I only got a 10.
5. A 10 total.
Yeah.
This one at 10 is also only worth 2 points, as you barely clip it in the head, and you like literally just barely hit it, as it sort of skirted the top of its head a little bit. All right, Beck. You're down a little bit, but never know, you could hit a bullseye for 10 points.
I could. With this nat 20, I'm gonna roll. Boom.
That is the 10.
18.
18 total.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is only worth 2 points as well. Missing the
Man,
5
this is a
point.
crazy target.
What was it? What was yours, Elwyn?
I got a 20 non-natural.
20 non-natural. A 20 is just enough to hit in the torso. As the dagger sort of flips over, it lands just on the edge of the outer ring on the torso for 5 points. And at the end of the day, the woman says, "Scores total 6.
12 to 6
for
if I
the-
have it right.
Yes, 6 for the fine gentleman over here, and 12 points for this fellow." She points to Elwyn, and Elwyn wins, having gotten a fairly impressive score of 12 points. She distributes the money towards you.
I was really hoping to get some better rolls and to be like, you know what, I want to make my daggers hit just slightly closer to the center than Elwyn's, or than Beck.
Well, technically you did only do slightly better than him, because the only point denominations are 2, 5, and 10, so it is what it is. Several, as you were standing there, a gnome runs forward and retrieves the knives and takes them back to the woman, and several people, what appears to be a member of the Queen's Guard and a woman with bright red curly hair, step up to the line and hand their silveros over to play after you, as you are able to go back off into the fair. Sort of looking around, like I said, there is Hot Feet, there's card games, there is a, what's it called, where you hit the thing with the hammer and it goes ding. There's that one. The strongman contest thing. There's Dragon Bones, or there is a acrobat show going on in a nearby tent, and there is a huge gaming sort of stall that has all these tiny little glass jars filled with water and goldfish.
So would I be getting a +7 to hit when I throw daggers, since I have the +2 from ranged with
It is a ranged attack, so
What gives you +2? Oh, did you pick
Archery.
Yeah.
and that gives +2 to all range.
it is a ranged attack, so yes. But
Yeah.
So when using it melee, it's +5. When I use it
Yeah.
range,
Yep.
+7. Okay.
Sounds accurate.
The
Yeah.
fair is in full effect. It is now about midday. Like I said, there's games, there are shows. If you want to go, if you go into a show, it's going to pass time. If you go play games, it'll be, playing games. You're just doing stuff, unless you want to wait until the big event, the boxing match at the end of the night.
I'm gonna go
I
get
was
some
gonna
food.
say, that's what I was wondering when it was.
I would go to the lists to make sure that everything is in order and help with Captain Chambers,
Captain Clemens.
Clemens, any way that I might be able to.
All right. So you're going to the list of things. One of you is going to get food. Is that what you said? Fair food?
I think Lou meant he's literally.
Oh. Okay.
I
was
will
gonna say,
go.
he goes and
just
he gets
to
a
card
funnel
games.
cake.
Do we want to maybe take 5? So maybe
Yeah.
take a quick break real quick.
Yeah, I kind of gotta go to the bathroom. 5-minute break.